This is the second video in the series on dynamic blocks. We're making a window block. At this point, this is what it looks like. We've got a linear parameter that allows you to stretch it incrementally, so it's 3-inch increments, goes from 24 inches to 48 inches. Now I'm going to erase that one to go back in my block editor and add a couple of more dynamic properties. What we're going to do first is an alignment parameter. Alignment parameter is nice because if you get near a line at an angle, it just flips it around. An alignment parameter is one of the few parameters that does not require an action. So I come back over to my block authoring palette. I find alignment parameter on the palette and I select it. It asks me to specify the base point, and I'm going to pick the insertion point of the block, that point right there. And then I'm going to switch this little line around so it lines up with the alignment I want. In other words, when that window comes in, I want it to line up with a wall along this line. So if the wall's like that, I want it to turn. So I'm going to go like so. I've got my alignment parameter. If I close out my block editor now, save the changes, we'll see how that's going to be used. Got to have a line like that. I go ahead and insert my window block. I get up near the so if I get near the line, you see that it automatically lines right up here. So depending on how you would attack it, it could line up that way, could line up this way. But it lines it right up, so if you've got a wall at an angle, it comes in automatically. Now, go back to the block editor. Again, we're going to erase that. Go back to our block editor, and one of the things you have to make sure is that you actually snap to the same location for your alignment parameter. So if you don't have an object snap set right now for node, what you need to do is snap to the same location you put that to, so you want to go midway between those 2 points. Now let's go ahead and add a flip parameter. The flip parameter we're going to add by indicating a base point of reflection line. Now if we go back and take a look at the tutorial, when we do the flip parameter, we're going to place the flip parameter so that it goes right down the center of this window so that it can flip and then have the projected sill on the inside or the outside. So if you bring it in wrong, you can just flip it over. So when we take a look at it and add a flip parameter, and you can see in the tutorial is that dotted line that goes right through here, that's where we have to place this. We're back in AutoCAD now. So when it asks for the base point of the reflection line, we're going to go to the midpoint of that little vertical line, go to the other midpoint as well, because what that does now is it puts half the window on one side, half the window on the other side, and now we have a flip state. That's all I need because I know I want it to flip. Now, do we need to add an action to a flip parameter? Well, it shows me a little exclamation mark, so apparently I do. And if I were to double click on that exclamation mark, it says B action, specify selection set for action, select objects. In other words, it comes up and says, okay, you want to put an action in there, this is what you need to do. Well, the action we want, if we go over to the actions tab, is a flip action. Select parameter, we'll select that parameter, select objects. Now what is it you want to flip? Well, if we do have to flip, that's all we really need to flip is right there. Oftentimes you'd actually select the entire window. But you also might want to flip these other parameters. You might say, you know, I want to switch or flip the stretch parameters as well, in which case you just would pick everything. Action location, not a bad place to put it right there. Now we don't have an exclamation mark anymore. We close this out, say yes, we want to save it. Now when we put our window in and have it automatically do that, if you select it, we get the little flip parameter right here. Bingo, it turns it right around, and it turns it right around in the location we want. Let's offset that line 6 just to make it look a little more like a wall. And then we'll trim out this and trim that out. So here's our window symbol right now. If it turns out we have it in the wrong place, we do that and it goes the other way.